And welcome back to Western Kabuki, to all of our dog-fucking racist pedophiles out there. We are glad to have you back. Very excited to be joined by the Block Party Boys again for the Q3 Worst Tweets 2023 tournament. How are we feeling, Stefan?
I'm feeling good. I just deleted my account today, so this is a good time for me.
Wow! Oh my god!
Damn,
that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. You're like detoxing your life.
Well,
you're gonna be healed.
Well, since we last recorded this, and John knows this, I deleted Twitter off my phone, and that was great. Like that felt wonderful. But I still had it on my computer and stuff, and it's just like it's so bad. It's so fucking bad. So I think what sucks is that I deleted my account, but like what I realized after I deleted it is that I'm gonna have to log in every like 30 days or so to like squat on my name so that someone doesn't steal it. So I'll do that every 30 days.
So you have your account still, but you just like deactivate.
It's deactivated.
Is what you did.
It's deactivated,
okay,
but
okay.
I think I can log back in within the next 30 days and like, keep my name. So I just have to do that like once a month, basically.
So if the temptation to just subject yourself to the worst shit you've ever seen just worms its way back into your brain, you could do it. That's huge.
If
that's
I want
important.
to, yeah.
Yeah. It might happen.
It could. We'll see.
I can't stay away personally. I keep getting banned, but I can't stay away. I stayed away for like 2 days on this last one, and I was like, I can't.
So are we ready to reveal the secret of the Juniper bot?
It's funny, my now suspended Juniper bot account, I was surprised at how many people actually didn't realize it was me. Like people DM'd me so much like, is this you, I don't know, I thought it was a pretty obvious bit, but apparently
it's because
not.
I was just lying in the Discord and everywhere else to all of our fans and stuff like,
and we committed to the bit. That was the thing.
Yeah, way too hard. Sorry for lying.
Never apologize for lying.
And John, how are you?
Yes, I am well also. Speaking of squatting on Stefan's name, that's what I'm going to do right after this is over. But anyway, this is exciting. Whack, a bit of a change from last time. You're showing face now. So this is like, I feel like kind of an exciting time to be on Western Kabuki.
Yeah, I'm out there now.
Oh, yeah.
You can check me out on YouTube. I'm doing it for real this time.
Is this sort of like part of your overall like plan? Did you sort of sit down for the WK business plan, slowly revealing the faces of the podcasters one at a time over 18 months or something?
There's Caleb. We got Caleb now.
Oh, Caleb, let's go.
Okay. I think Whack was the only one that didn't have like a face reveal of some sort. I like I've kind of had my face reveal, but then like Andy Nyo was like, hey, this is this person.
Right.
And then everyone just knew my face.
Right.
So like I'm kind of just out there at this point, I suppose.
That is this
but
is sick.
Whack,
Caleb's definitely giving me some like Aphex Twin vibes right now, which I'm loving. And I've seen Alex's face before, so that's not even really. That's not. New.
It's
Now
sorry
nice.
Alex is
It's nice.
Sorry, you've seen
but,
it.
Yeah,
it's a nice face.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
I guess okay, we're all
Whoa!
I just
Hey,
yeah.
Oh, Junior home. That's
Hello.
cool. I guess I shouldn't say that.
For the listener who will not be seeing this, we all just turned our cameras on.
We're all reacting. I hope this is fun for the audience.
Yeah, we're all here now. The
reacting.
gang is all here.
We don't do video episodes like you guys do. So you guys, everyone's just going to have to imagine this.
That's
We're talking about starting that. That'd be fun.
it's people seem to like it. It's funny because basically the whole time we've done Block Party, half the episodes are like, wow, look at this shit. Look at this video. Look at this weird picture. And then it's like us describing the picture. And then we realized like 5 years in, oh, what if we just showed the picture to people?
Yeah.
So
That's kind of where we're at.
That would definitely help some of our format, because especially when we have the fucking we do so many PowerPoints.
I was gonna say,
like,
this
that would help
presentation
so much.
looks so good already. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, you
I'm
put a
pretty
lot
proud
of
of this
effort
one. Does do a
into
lot of
no
work.
one seeing this. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, some of our audience.
I link it in the show notes,
Yeah.
and they can follow
okay,
along.
okay,
And
that's
yeah,
Yeah, well, we say that we'll do that, but then what happens is invariably
we forget every single time, and then somebody
time.
asks in Discord.
The thing I'm excited for
I-
here is that I'm so not caught up on bad posts.
Yeah.
So I think most of these are going to be new to me. I'm
Oh,
really
and
excited.
there's some
Yeah.
there's some gold.
There-
There has been some gold.
There's been some really
especially
good
the last
ones.
few weeks.
There's been some really good ones, and I will just say now I did avoid ones that would be extremely upsetting. About
Please, yes.
videos of like injured children and stuff. None
Yeah.
of that is on here.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
not what this is about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Just
think
putting that out
the
there
consensus
at the beginning.
The consensus last time was like, yeah, we don't want to like be miserable recording like a 2-hour podcast. Like,
Yeah,
that just
and we
sounds
also don't want to be like,
horrible.
what is worse, this guy who said something weird, or like this general of the IDF who said something dehumanizing about the genocide they're committing? That's not really like what we're about. Not really what we're
Yeah.
looking to do here. So let's just break into some honorable mentions. As is tradition, I made this extremely unpleasant to look at. I'm going to start top left-hand corner. This one almost made it into the bracket, but it is a map in which the south of Europe, South America, Central America, and the southern United States are circled. And it says, if you're not from here, your quote-unquote cuisine is just slop. So that's going to be...
That's insane.
Russia, Northern
they
Europe,
included-
Poland, all of Africa.
Wait,
which
is,
invented,
is Asia on there at all?
No, Asia's not on there, so
No,
no
it's-
Asian food is good.
Sushi, slop.
It's Italy is circled here. Greece is circled here. Like
Yeah.
people shit on the Greece, but there's some good Greek food.
There
Like,
is
holy
good
I
shit.
like Greek food, yeah.
There's some
Yeah.
Greek food rules.
Yeah,
we've
but
got
like,
Spain,
I do
we've got
appreciate
France.
shitting on American cuisine, but this is getting a little too far for me.
Also, like circling the South and not circling West Africa, and then being like, the South has the best cooking. It's like, oh
Right.
yeah, motherfucker, who do you think invented red beans and rice? Where
And
do you think that came from?
I will just say, John and I will just say, as Canadians, obviously, like, I mean, poutine is like, it is
Yeah,
very good.
of course,
You know,
of
like,
course,
It is slop, though.
It is
Poutine
for
is
sure
kind of
slop.
the definition
Poutine
of
is
slop.
Poutine.
It is slop.
I've
We'll
never
give
had
him the
it.
slop
I've never.
on that one.
Sometimes slop is good though.
Yeah, June,
come on.
you gotta come up to Canada and have our slop.
It's really good slop.
One of these days, I am planning on going to Canada. One of these days, I will partake.
Have you never
in the
been to
slop.
Canada, June?
I have when I was like 14.
Okay.
It was like a family thing. And it was like it was like one of those things where it's like you like enjoyed it, but you have no memories of it,
Yeah.
right? It's like one of those trips.
I've never been to Canada, but I also don't live as close as Chicago. So, anyway,
and where
great.
do you live? And could we get that specific address?
Philadelphia. So I'm in South Philly.
Coordinates?
Come find me.
Coordinates, please.
When your
Social
electric
Security?
car is disabled for a day because you misgendered someone, you'll say, that Enoch fellow was actually right. Well done to him for standing up for his constitutional right.
Now, what
is-
the fuck is that referring to?
It's a reply to RT News. It doesn't matter what the reply was. It
know,
doesn't
I
matter what the
think-
situation
Isn't it
was.
like also in someone who has a sort of like anti-woke brain, wouldn't those two things be kind of the same? Like if you drive an electric car, wouldn't you also be conscious of not misgendering people? Like aren't those two like sort of opposing forces?
That's like the funny thing with like the recent Elon Musk pivot to like weird edgy right wing guy is like the like most liberal suburb of Chicago, Evanston. If anyone knows about Evanston, people know that it's super liberal and there's so many Teslas there. Everyone has a Tesla. So like you would think that, but then there's like the modern Elon Musk like alt-right pivot that he's done. So
Right.
there's like two forces that he has that are just like opposing each other, because you're right, like that would be like an insane thing, but we live in America, so things don't have to make sense.
I think this is Bitcoin brain. I think this is the idea that the electric cars are the future. So everybody's going to have electric cars in the future. That's a given. But in the future, some of the woke companies will turn off your car if you misgender somebody.
Right.
and frankly, we
Based-
should have that.
Based Tesla.
I think that
will-
should be.
Right.
I actually would love to see that interaction. Like you're just at a Taco Bell or something, and you're like, "Yeah, he got me the wrong fries," and then they come out the actually, it's she. Fuck! I can't drive home. God damn it!
stuck at this Taco Bell. This next one is in the center here, underneath the word honorable. I think we talked about this. I thought we talked about it on the last bracket. It was not on the last bracket, and it was not in the last honorable mention. But I think we talked about this.
I think we talked about this before we started recording, maybe. This one is so crazy.
Yes, we definitely talked about it, but it might have been off.
This is a friend of the show, this guy. By the way.
Thy geekdom come. He didn't make the bracket. I think we were like basically like he's definitely gonna make it. He didn't make it. He's got honorable mention though. Since there's a Catholic dude tweeting hot takes about how his wife's health justifies their contraception use, let me say no, never. Under any circumstances. Mrs. Geekdom, who has health issues there, and I will refuse every time because it's wrong, because it's not loving.
I love when these people like refer to their partners as their like username, but just like the opposite gender, like Mr. or Mrs. on that. It's always like the weirdest. I don't know. It feels like something out of like 2011. It doesn't feel like people should be allowed to do that anymore.
Yeah, like Mrs. Geekdom, this tweet is going to be used in like the divorce filing at some point. Sure.
Yeah, Stefan and I had a run-in with a hockey podcaster up here named Steve Dangle.
Well, it was more you than me, I think. But
okay, whatever the case, you were involved, and then his wife like came after us on Twitter, and her handle on Twitter is just Mrs. Dangle.
Yeah,
really, that was crazy. This is. If anyone, if for some reason that ad ever frees up, that's like for any trans women out there, that's just perfect new ad.
I just want to say, just so that I'm not cringe, anytime I've said Mrs. Whack in the past, that was like ironic. I was pretending to be a twee 2011 guy. I wasn't like doing it.
Well, and they don't have that username, right? So
right, she's not online, so whatever. Okay, center here. What is the privilege where you don't have to pour blood out of your butt for 25% of your life?
This is a classic of the genre of like misunderstanding women's bodies, I think, right? Like this
It's a whole subreddit, so like it's well-trod territory that people have literally. I mean, it's like bad female anatomy is the joke. It's bad anatomy in general. You see bad male anatomy too, and it's just like, first of all, if you say what is the privilege where you don't have to have a period, that is male privilege. That's the definition of being a biological male.
Yeah,
it's like a fact of the situation. So it already has a name. Second of all, it's not 25% because you don't have your first period until you're like more than a decade into your life, and you have your last period when you still have decades left to live. So it's not that. Also, of course, the blood does not come from the butt, as we all know.
That's the big one. I feel
that's the most stunning thing here.
Well,
I think everybody knows that pee is stored in the balls and blood is stored in the butt.
Right. Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, that's right.
As someone with IBS, I'll say it's not 25%. It's not 0%. I'll say that right.
See, I was thinking the same thing as someone with ulcerative colitis. Like I didn't even clock this as like a period thing. I thought this was like a fellow ulcerative colitis hacker. I was like, oh hell yeah!
Shout out!
Are you a Blood Bowl brother?
Shout out IBS. Shout out UC. Shout out the other one, Crohn's.
Hell yeah!
Shout out
Crohn's, Guts. Yeah. Shout out CD. Shout out my CDs.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Okay. This one's awesome. Incorrect. This is a reply to something. Doesn't matter what it's a reply to. It begins incorrect. Children are 95% father, 5% mother. Children come from a man's testicles. Women are just a temporary oven for forming that life into a newborn. Childbirth doesn't even hurt. That's just a Hollywood fairy tale. Birthdays should be illegal. Conception days are good.
Oh, I just want to say a lot of these, it's very shocking when they don't have a blue check mark. Like,
well, people hide them too.
Right,
I know
you can do
that
that now, right?
Because Eve Barlow's on here, and this is not the last time Eve Barlow's going to show up.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure she's verified.
Oh, she has been going off.
Yeah,
lately.
she's been on a whole one recently, Eve.
The worst. One of the worst things to happen to Twitter is being able to hide your blue check. You should have to wear that with shame, frankly.
Definitely.
You should have to tweet the Daily Kitty Cat tweet that you just read, which incredible username for that tweet, by the
Underscore
way.
the Daily Kitty Cat.
Underscore Daily Kitty. The Daily Kitty Cat was taken, so I had to go underscore.
That's
Daily
an
Kitty
account
Cat.
that I would probably follow if I was still on Twitter, just based on the name, and then you would see all the stuff they were posting and kind of.
And then they talk about children coming from testicles.
Now it says
just
like
bizarre
in the
shit.
Bible that childbirth is hurts, right? Like that wasn't invented with the movie camera. That's been around for a while, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, this next one, this is the one that we all know, that we all love. I think it's gonna make it to the end of the year, even though it's honorable mention here. I just felt it was so recent when I made the bracket. But this is from Jacob Unruh, and this is now, I think, a classic tweet
Iconic.
in its own right.
Iconic.
Now, Jacob, he does have the Ukraine flag, the sock, and the sunflower in his name, and he has tweeted, if there was an election where the only two viable candidates are Hitler and Hitler, but 1% less bad, you are morally obligated to vote for Hitler, but 1% less bad. This is 99%
I love that
Hitler.
99% Hitler. Yeah, I love that this person and a lot of people have found a way to justify voting for Hitler, basically.
Immediately.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. So if there was a Hitler with 2 balls and a Hitler with 1 ball, you'd have to vote for the 1 ball Hitler.
Yeah, because he's less bad. Yeah.
I mean,
I
I'm
did
kind
the
of reading
math.
this
God.
tweet, and 3 words are sort of coming to mind for me here, and it is spot the lie.
Are you on his side?
I'm kind of like, you know what? Who knows what that? Maybe the 1% contains all of the worst shit. You guys don't know.
It does
You
remind
don't
me-
Did
know.
you guys see his follow up to this? The reply, someone was like, someone said something. Is like, is that really what we should be doing? He's like, said, well, no, you have to vote for him, then violently overthrow the government immediately after voting for him. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It does remind me of like
Just start
there's
there.
like the morality sort of like there's the one person who is constantly posting stuff where it's like if like it's essentially like if you, I mean it's not this, but it's like if you have a pedophile, a child, and a bag of grain, and you have to try and get them across a river without the pedophile fucking the bag of grain or whatever. Like I forget the name of the account, but she's like always posting these insane
Ayala girl.
hypotheticals.
Ayala. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
this is the thing is
Friend of the
I tried to avoid a couple of the more insane people. I couldn't avoid Eve Barlow with everything. But like Ayala, I put one on here actually.
Yeah,
when we
but she's
get
like
to
clearly asking for the attention, right? Is the thing, right? So like it's one of those.
That's like her whole shtick
Yeah.
is like going,
Yeah.
Let's actually put a pin in Ayala because I want to talk about her and a few other people when we get to a
Okay.
slide. But yes,
Oh
she
shit,
is-
she's the person that talks about like not bathing.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out
It's
who
one of her
Ayala
many
was.
she had sex
Oh,
52
God.
times in a year and bathed and showered 37 times.
Oh yeah, that's a classic one. Yes.
real quick before we move on from Jacob here. He's got the Ukrainian flag. What are the other ones and what do they mean?
The sunflower is further support for Ukraine. Sunflower is the national support for Ukraine, or national symbol of Ukraine, and the socks are for social democrats like SOCs, like socks.
Okay. All right.
Like
Yeah,
like the
that's like
rival
a-
to the
goddamn-
greasers in the SE
Yeah, the socials.
and movie The Outsiders.
Okay, this
Exactly.
This next one, this is a good pathetic Elon reply, and I don't think we have any other
Thi-
ones. So we do.
this
wanna
is
save
one
this
of my. I forgot. I didn't realize this was this year. This is so crazy that this is this year. This is one of. I think when I saw this, this is like my nomination for like the worst post reply combo of all time. Legitimately.
Yo, I'm pissed off because I didn't even look at the date. This is from January. I didn't even look at it.
No, but I mean, it's worth
still
having.
very
It's worth
good.
showing here
It's
because
still
it's
very
just
good.
like
And we
so,
haven't talked about it.
It's just like it sums him up so perfectly. Anyway, please read it. It's so bad.
So
oh my god.
this
So
so
good.
this is what Elon says. I don't like the taste of alcohol. I don't like the taste or effects of alcohol, but there is something quite beautiful about red wine in a fine glass. First of all,
God.
Such soy posting.
First of all,
fine glass.
a fine glass, and it has to be red wine for some. It's prettier that way. Also, Elon drinks alcohol. Like We just talked about his fucking.
No, he does ketamine.
He does
does
but he
ketamine,
drinks
is what he
alcohol
does.
too. It's like he ran a fucking party house at UPenn illegally. He like.
Yeah. I think he takes a lot of
Oh, shit,
he takes
that's
a lot of
right.
like pills too. I'm pretty like I feel like he probably
he gets
does.
fucked up.
Yeah.
He gets fucked up.
And Elon, if you're listening, keep taking those pills. Take as many as you want. Don't. If someone says to stop, someone says to take less. Don't listen to him.
Yeah.
just take as
And
many as you want.
see what they
Fake
kind of do
friend.
together. Like how does this one kind of mix with this
Oh
other
yeah,
one?
maybe
if you
you'll
sort of
actually
never
like
really tried
alcohol
that
if you
before?
try it with the pills. That's a great point.
Yes, that's a good
Haven't
one
there
as
been a
well.
lot of disclosures that he like has a sort of unrestricted and a relatively liberal ketamine usage?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. That in one of the recent books that came out, like it came out somewhere where he does like he's like frying his brain like with the amount that he does or something like that.
Yeah, Peter Thiel was like, "You're not ready for this child blood shit. I'm gonna get you on something else real quick." All right. So anyway, that's actually not the bad tweet. The follow up is the bad tweet. This is from Peter Pham. You know, Peter owns a blue check mark. Peter said, "I remember you." Fuck. The wording on this is so strange. The syntax is so bizarre. I remember pouring you a glass at a friend's house in SF after another mutual friend's wedding in 17. I was decanting another. You didn't want it. Honey Badger drinks when he wants, crying, laughing. I made the clutch move of ordering pizza at 1 a.m.
It
the
hurts.
most like please notice
If
me.
you-
Yeah, it's
reply
Senpai
of all
Elon.
time.
This is the most Senpai Elon
If
has
you
shit.
squeezed all of Reddit into one post, I mean, this is pretty much like the Honey Badger reference in 2017. That tells you all you need
Oh
to know
Christ,
about
it's
Elon Musk.
17. I was thinking 11 for some reason. Yeah.
So first of all, Elon referring to himself as Honey Badger in like third person like that makes me want to kill myself.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
this
God,
is
that's
really,
like 20 years too late for that reference, frankly.
so bad.
It is.
Oh my god.
It
Yeah,
is.
it really
it's just
is,
really
yeah.
pathetic. There's not anything to like say about it. Every word in it is really, really sad.
Yeah.
It's in the same class. It says it's in the same class of Elon replies as you should make a hammer with a camera in
It's
it, and
up there.
it's just one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite
Make a hammer
categories
with a
of
camera
tweets.
in it. There should be oil involved. There were a few Elon
the
reply
hammer
tweets.
camera. Damn, that shit was great. I do, Peter. This is kind of a sick reference though to my favorite Paula Cole song. I don't want to wait for the wine in decanter.
Hell yeah, dude.
Thank you. That's also a reference from 2001. Just trying to keep up with everybody here in this tweet.
We're gonna have a bad like Brian meme coming up soon.
I'm going to read the Eve Barlow one next because I want to talk about why I included the other one here. But Eve Barlow, I called this one Eve Barlow Gets the Nazis. She said, I completely understand why ordinary Germans thought the Nazis were great. Because they were efficient and they promised to build a great workforce and economy. They were selling something. Eve Barlow is a Jewish rights activist. That is her job. And she is just like, doesn't really think the anti-Semitism of the Nazis was really that big of a deal, I guess.
The best Eve Barlow post is the one about seeing free parking, the free parking sign, and thinking it said Free Palestine and having a huge meltdown. And also, this is going to sound rude, but every time I see her profile picture, I think it's Fisher Stevens. And I know it's not, but I just wanted to get that out of the way. Sorry.
I think the two things about this. It's crazy that there's a worse post that she made that's going to be in this bracket because you said that she's in the bracket. So it's crazy that there's one that's worse. But also, I think about especially lately with the whole Palestine-Israel situation right now, I think about that free parking post so much because when that happened like 2 years ago, everyone was making fun of her. Like our sphere of Twitter was making fun of her. Like, oh, this is like so ridiculous. Like, this is so silly. But it turns out that just like a lot of people actually, like, I believe that happened now. I didn't believe that was a real thing that happened at first. But now seeing how people like Zionists have been responding the last month, it's like, oh no, like Zionists are just like that.
Yeah, Zionism
That's
is a
just how they
particular
are.
kind of brain that some people have where they are like that, where they think like everything is secretly anti-Semitic, except for the Nazis. They are secretly not anti-Semitic in some way, according to
They were
Eve.
efficient, Whack. They were efficient.
Yeah, at what? At what?
there has been a crazy number of posts that are like, look, the Nazis were terrible, but most of them knew what they were doing was bad and they felt bad about it, which is why there was such a high incidence of alcoholism in the SS.
Jesus.
But Palestinians don't even think what they're doing is wrong.
They don't
So
even
they're
drink
worse.
alcohol.
They don't even drink. Yeah.
That's the big problem with Palestinians for them. Yeah, that's really nuts. Just the idea that white Europeans are somehow safer for Jews than the Palestinians is so absurd. Like, fucking scoreboard, bitch. Like, what are you talking about? Like, anyway, let's talk about Dexerto real quick. What do you guys think about Dexerto?
I think it's a great source of gaming news.
It's so the gold check mark, is that $10,000 a month or
That is
$100,000?
$10,000. It's $10,000 a year, I think.
That's so fucking crazy. Oh my god.
It's so much. They have to make some good money if they're able to afford. I mean, any of these, like, because Dexerto is just like, they're not like a real like news organization, right? Like, they're just like a Twitter
I
account.
am slowly starting to fucking hate this account, which is why I like included this, because they don't source anything. They get stock images from Getty Images. They post a headline with no information, no sites. Like, this one, they did follow up and cite it, but they didn't even. They said where they got the information.
Well,
from,
that's
but
got to
didn't
be in the
link it.
replies. It has to be in the replies where like a fraction of the people are going to see the actual data. That's where it has to be, the real information.
So this says researchers suggest that video games are an alternative solution to ADHD treatment. I Googled it, and there is a video game that was developed by neuroscientists that has been approved by the FDA for ADHD children. It's like a really like groundbreaking thing, but they don't link to the game. They say video games in general are a solution to ADHD.
Video games have given me way more ADHD for sure. There's no doubt in my mind.
Maybe anger issues as well
yeah.
for some people, not you, but for some
For
people.
me, definitely for me.
For you.
The FDA approved approved a game in 2020, and due to a shortage of Adderall, researchers are exploring this more seriously. That's like a tragedy. That's not like an exciting news story.
It's like those stories that are like heartwarming. 80-year-old just got a raise at Walmart. Can now afford rent or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sick kid has lemonade stand and raises money for cancer treatment. Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
God.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, it's also funny that it's not like we wanted to try and find a way without drugs. It's that we're running out of the drugs. We're having a shortage of the drugs.
Children
It
cannot
wasn't
get
like-
their medications, so now we're playing video games with them.
Yeah, it wasn't like, a great alternative therapy potentially discovered. It's like, oh, fuck, we're running out of the drug that we're controlling these kids with. Damn, God damn it. We got to make money some other way. How do we do it?
Create a generation of new gamers.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
All right, here we go.
so we've got two. I think these are a good couple of ones to start off with. We've got one that we have talked about extensively on the show already, and it's a thread.
I think I talked about it the last time I was on Blocked.
Yes,
Oh,
I
really?
feel like I was
This
like,
was
how
a
do I
social
know
media
about this? And I was
update,
like,
yeah.
oh, right, this was Juniper's social media update.
Yeah.
For the first reader for the first tweet, I'm gonna call on Caleb. Caleb, can you read this first tweet? This is your little baby as well.
Yeah, we're talking about on the left here, the call out thread.
Yeah.
This is from the #slinging slasher call out thread. I just remember what this is. Jesus Christ. Okay. So I don't usually do call out posts, but I feel the need to warn you all of somebody who I believe is a dangerous and unstable person. This person has been known to sneak into restricted areas around coasters and do things of a sexual nature to them.
So this is the coaster fucking thread. I put
This is the coaster fucking thread.
I'm using the opening tweet. So the coaster fucking thread, and for a quick reminder, that was a thread where we exposed members of a community who get their jollies off by having sexual relationships with roller coasters. And this is apparently a whole community of people. This is a whole thing that certain people do. Theme parks are aware of these people. It is a
I should have known this was going to be on here so I could have the episode title up. But we did talk about this for about half of an episode.
Yes.
The whole community.
We talked about the community of coaster fuckers, and they are strong. Juniper, could you please read the other tweet that is currently on the screen?
Sure. So this one says, I don't see how we can maintain our hearts working with people killing kids. This argument works the other way. Why not work with Trump instead? I'd rather be a nuisance and keep my integrity versus sacrificing parts of myself to keep repeating the process.
So this is a big brain one.
What is this?
This is a big brain one.
Okay, so I don't know if I even understand it. What is it?
Let's break
Can
down.
you break
Let's
it down?
break down what's going on here.
Okay.
Don't see how we can maintain our hearts working with people killing kids. That's the thesis. We either will get very sad or we will become jaded if we keep watching kids die. And therefore, this argument works the other way. Why not work with Trump instead? This is from a left perspective. This woman is trans. I'd rather be a nuisance and keep my integrity versus sacrificing parts of myself to keep repeating the process.
So this is just a roundabout way of saying that we should vote for Trump.
As a
basically.
leftist, we need to get together and commit to voting for Donald Trump for president.
Well, Trump is a leftist, so let's just
This is beyond not voting for Biden is voting for Trump. This is a vote for Trump is a vote for Biden, basically, is what they're saying.
It reminds me of that era of posting that was like before the 2020 election where everyone was like, oh, it'd be so crazy if Donald Trump did universal health care. Like, that would be crazy. You're right. But he's not going to do it, guys. Like, sorry. It's not going to happen.
And he's not going to next time. Yeah. It's not going to be different the next time around. It's going to be...
Yeah, he's not like some secret leftist. He's not a secret-based leftist.
Yeah, it's going to be largely the same. A lot of people are like worried he's going to like do like fascism for real this time. It's like he's still the same guy, except for this time he's older and more stressed. He's not gonna he's not firing on all cylinders, very obviously. But don't vote for him.
It'll be less funny.
Yeah. Like this time around, it'll be less funny. That's true.
It's gonna be far less funny.
Yeah.
He still has the juice, but he doesn't have as much of the juice.
That's true. 100%. So we've got coaster fucking, and we've got a vote for, Trump
is a
vote.
leftist.
Vote for Trump if you're a leftist. The leftist case for Trump.
That is very dog-brained, I have to say.
Yeah.
So what do we think? Which one is more insane?
Coaster fucking for sure. For me, I'll start off. Coaster fucking. Again, I think most of the fans of this show will know, but if you don't, there is a lot of insular drama surrounding the coaster fucking community.
Yeah.
As the show goes on, we'll talk about it more.
And that one post that we read off is just like one post in a thread of like 30 replies, by the same person. So it's just astonishing. I would also say the coaster fucker. Absolutely.
Cool.
It stands out more as a post. I feel like
Stephen.
there's the one on the right is crazy, but I think there's a lot of people who are like, oh, let's vote for Trump from a leftist perspective or whatever. And like, obviously those posts are insane, but there's a lot of posts like that. There's not a lot of posts about fucking a roller coaster. So I have to vote for roller coaster.
Yeah, I feel you're so right. I feel like when Juniper came on Blocked Party, my original thought was that certainly you would think that this is like men doing this or penis having people doing this, because who else would be fucking a roller coaster? And then Juniper informed us that it was actually vulva having people that were doing this. And now I cannot come any other way, which is crazy, without thinking about them. So I have to pick the coaster.
Wow, I didn't realize I changed
the
your
roller
life.
Coaster Cullen coming in.
That's what they call it. Love roller coaster. That's kind of about me.
Alex, do you want to throw a vote in? Make it a clean sweep for this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the coaster fucking.
Cool.
The other person feels like they're just trying to play like really weird semantic trick games,
Yeah.
and then like during the next election, they'll come out as like an arch-right Republican.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, "Gotcha." So yes, coaster fucking all the way.
Yeah. Okay. Next round, we've got a couple.
Oh God.
We've got a poll, and we've got a poll from a character
man.
who is tangentially related
This
to
feels like
Ayala.
it could be the final right here.
So very recently, we had on friend of the show, Jenny Tightpants, to discuss the phenomenon of transvestigation. So I felt it was really important to have
Ivy. That was
Ivy. Shit. Sorry, Ivy and Jenny. We had Ivy on to discuss transvestigation, and I wanted to include a transvestigation tweet because it is it's really good, and it's about Taylor Swift, and we also just did an episode on Taylor Swift. My girlfriend does not have a pubic mound. I checked last night. So this is a thing that transgenders have to hide their meat package.
I checked last night is such a good
do you want to
part of that
describe it?
tweet.
I checked last night. It's so good.
Does someone want to describe the image?
It's just a picture of Taylor Swift in a bathing suit, but like, yeah, her
Okay.
pubic mound is prominent, I guess, in the bathing suit. But
the thing that's like weird about a lot of these transvestigation posts, and especially if it's like they're clearly not doing a bit and they like are actually like this person's clearly not doing a bit, they're like trying to get to the bottom of this, like the language they use is just like so disturbing at all times, like describing it as like a meat package and like mute pubic mound. Like, I don't know, like people don't talk like this in like normal conversations. These people are just like so
no, pubic
bizarre.
mound isn't a phrase you use in your day to day. I don't think.
No.
Just imagine Monday morning around the water cooler talking about I was checked out my girlfriend's pubic mound for her meat package last night. That was crazy.
Yeah, just like in the
Fucking
locker
talk
room with the
about?
boys, like, hey, you guys fucking heard about this fucking meat package thing or like what? So you guys fucking check out your chicks and see if they got a fucking meat package or a pubic mound or like you guys been checking up on this because I'm fucking confused, man.
And the other one is from vampiric friend of the show, Richard Hanania.
This guy
And-
is so difficult to look at physically. He looks so bad. He looks like I forget.
Atrocious looking.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's people can't help how they look. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Fuck that. I don't care. Like
It's different when they're like evil. Because like this guy's pure evil.
He looks like simultaneously a Victorian child and a Victorian child killer, like at the same time.
The real Jack
He
the
looks
Ripper.
like a Sith Lord, like like dark side corruption in Star Wars games or whatever. He has.
Yeah.
He does. He looks like if you go like 15% of the evil side in Force Unleashed. That's what it looks like.
So you're saying Stephanie looks like Jack the Ripper and Jack the Ripped.
Exactly. Yeah.
He looks like Corey Matthews from Boy Meets World. Just
kinda
does look
does,
like
actually,
that.
yeah.
He just does look like that. Okay, so this was a poll that he posted, and we know there's a few of him. There's a few people like him. We mentioned Ayala earlier. Another one is going to come up. There's a few different guys on the website. Actually, Cybersmith is kind of becoming one of these guys too, where they just say really outlandish stuff and then they double down, and it's like all they really do when they're hanging out on Twitter. So Richard Hanania tweeted a poll, and he said, "Let's say." No, Alex, read this one.
Okay. Thank you for making me read this.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself, in black
Jesus
I might just pass.
I agreed before I really let it digest it. Here we go. let's say Jeffrey Epstein wants to have sex with a 14-year-old girl and will pay her $10 million. The money will go into a mutual fund that will pay out when she's 21. The girl agrees, as do both of her parents. Should this be allowed? And are you male or female? And then he gives you 4 options. Yes, male, no male, yes, female, and no female. It has 806,761 votes.
Christ.
Yes, male is 3.3%. No male, 73.2%. Yes, female, 9.2%. And no female, 14.3%.
Why?
I have to say,
why did so
I have
many
to say that,
women
like,
say yes?
that first of all, that's fucked up. And if you take this, it's about 12% of the vote. So that means that over 60,000 or over 80,000 people were like, yeah, sure. This sounds like a great idea. She's going to get $10 million.
Just deranged. I don't know, like what goes through people's heads when they think of stuff like
Now
this. Like I have never been in a scenario where I'm like, oh yes, a scenario with a 14-year-old girl and Jeffrey Epstein. This is something I want to theorize.
I think.
And put out
I
to
mean, I
millions
think
of
what it
people.
is straight up is just that people get paid for their impressions on Twitter now, right? Like it's the blue check mark impressions, and I think they've figured out the way to game the system is like polls because people are more likely to interact with them because you can interact with them anonymously.
You can't screenshot that and have people like
They don't know
it.
that you voted, whatever you. But so I think that's 100% what this is. But this is like I feel like it's almost word for word. Who was the person we talked about earlier who does the inflammatory?
Ayala.
Yeah, this is like exactly like something that she would post.
It
I feel
is.
like. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
40 million views.
Jesus.
So that means he got paid like $7.
I mean, also, it does say below, there is a follow-up tweet. I love how all the people mad at this have named like Bob 456 flyers, and their photos indicate that they can't afford a recent phone. Moralism and inability to consider hypotheticals are hallmarks of the lower classes.
Just an incredible
Moralism.
Yeah.
Having
Oh my
morals
God.
is for poor people. You need to get your
Also-
fucking money up and start selling your daughter to financiers. That's what you need to.
If I looked like this guy, I wouldn't be posting anything about pedophilia. Like that's just
Yeah, he's got to be careful.
I'm going to say I look like I do, and I'm not going to be posting any hypothetical pedophile questions. I'm going to actually stay away from those by and large. Yeah, I do. Yeah,
I think
yeah.
the craziest thing with this guy too is like, didn't he come on the scene because he wrote some super racist article and then
he was writing under a pseudonym
For
for years,
years.
and then he got outed by a journalist, and basically the collective Republican response was to shrug. They did not care.
Oh God, love this.
So, if we're taking the the Taylor Swift pubic mound one is not OpQ is the name of the account. They're both. This is blue check on blue check violence. This one here. So I will vote first because I always forget to do mine first. I am going to vote that the worst of these two tweets. I'm going with the Taylor Swift one. I think it's worse because I think he's biting Ayala's style a little bit. And also it is like a type of post that you see a lot. And transvestigation, I think, is just a much more interesting kind of post than the hypothetical Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, he's ripping off Ayala Girl's style. She was doing that before anybody was getting paid. She was doing it for love of the game. She just genuinely loves getting screamed at.
You do have to respect that. That does add a layer of respect to Ayala. Shout out to Ayala. By the way, friend of the show.
No, she's doing it for real. She's absolutely not a friend of the show. She has me blocked. She fucking hates me. Yeah, it's good for her. She does OnlyFans. She asks insane questions. That's the thing, is that she promos her OnlyFans though. Like she doesn't need to like.
right.
So she was farming content for OnlyFans, not for. And I think there's a lot more dignity in that than to just do it for the blue check. Like you actually have to take the photos and interact with. It's like a job like way more than being a blue check is. So a lot more respect to her than to this little freak.
I think
who's
I'm
up
voting
next?
for the Taylor Swift one too. Like I just think,
Hell yeah.
yeah. I mean, the Richard one is again. I mean, they're both obviously looking for attention, but I sort of respect the OpQ one more because going after Taylor Swift is like so crazy to do. Like you're going to
That's
get
true,
killed
too.
if you do that. So
That's true too.
I kind of respect that a bit more. I think. I mean, I know that's not what this is here, but I just can't. I just don't want to see that guy's face anymore. Also, so.
Yeah, that's right. I think his tweet is actually worse, but I can't do that. We got a lot of more of these to get through. I don't want him to jump out and scare me again.
I think I'm gonna also go with the Taylor
Damn.
Swift, the pubic mound, the meat package. There's just something about it. There's something about transvestigation posts that are so charming to me, which is like really funny because like I feel like they're as equally transphobic as like straight up transphobia, but there's something about them that are just that's so much funnier and so much more interesting than normal like transphobia.
Yeah,
like,
because
I can't hate it. I love
the
it. It's
question
like
is
so
always
funny.
like, so what? What if Taylor Swift is secretly a trans woman? What will happen? What do you think's going to happen if we all find that out?
Yeah.
John, what do you got?
Well, I guess I'll be the lone dissenting vote and vote for the whatever thing. I don't want to really say any part of it.
The hypothetical Epstein. That's what I called it, hypothetical Epstein.
I just remember like when
tournament
that
bracket.
post hit the TL, I was just like, so this is what we're doing now. Okay? Like I'm not really familiar with Ayala or whatever. You know, I feel like I don't traffic in these circles. We talked about this last time I was on the show. I try to avoid this sort of shit at all costs. But the Richard
good
tweet
reason.
kind of blew up. I just love the idea that like why is it Jeffrey Epstein? It could be anybody. Like I know that he had the Islander, but he's dead. Like what? Why is he the name?
That's
we're
part of the
invoking?
reason I voted for the other one was because it's like it's just because it's a famous pedophile. It's the most famous pedophile. If he had
Just at least go with Bill Clinton.
Yeah, exactly.
If
Like,
he had
it's
done
just
this,
so weird.
If he had done this 15 years ago, it would have been Michael Jackson. It's just the most famous pedophile that we know about right now, and there's no living one. I mean,
He doesn't even, not even using the deep cut pedophiles.
Yeah.
It's rudimentary.
yeah.
Clear engagement farming.
Okay, so Alex, do you want to throw a vote in?
I think I'm going with the Taylor Swift one as well.
Hell yeah.
Because the thing that I like about it is the person posted these normal pictures of Taylor Swift expecting everyone to see what they thought was
that's a
there.
good point.
And instead what we see is a picture of Taylor Swift. So I just find that incredibly charming. Sorry.
No, you're right, and it's like also
No,
there's like
there's-
a convention, like a very conventionally attractive woman as well. You know, like that's the hey, I'm going to show off this picture of a conventionally attractive woman looking attractive to ask my little questions.
Okay, so on to the next one. These two are quite good. So I will read just the lead up because it's actually the reply that I wanted to focus on here on the first one.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude. Yes.
So, John, I am going to read the context, then you're just going to read what Stanley had to say, okay?
Okay, you got it.
Okay, so somebody said, transgender-related surgeries on minors are so goddamn rare in this country, statistically insignificant. Pretty much every major hospital would refuse to perform them. One on a minor, ... Doesn't matter what the rest they said. Stephen King, a famed author, replied, this whole transgender and sex change thing is classic bait and switch, an effort to get Republican base spun up so that they'll forget the conservative-leaning Supreme Court took away a woman's right to choose. And Stanley replies,
One-on-one, me and you pick the challenge.
The audacity of this guy.
what if it's short story writing, motherfucker? Stanley,
Exactly.
think it through.
Yeah,
Stanley.
make books that have been adapted into some of the most successful movies of all time. Challenge. You have to write a book called The Green
God, I
Mile and
love
see
it.
how well it sells.
And Stefan, I'm so sorry.
No. Okay. This guy, I remember. I do remember seeing posts from this guy. This guy is like a psycho.
Yeah, and Stefan, can you read out his Twitter handle here? It starts with @boring_.
No, well, that account doesn't exist anymore, John. So this is at Adam Sessler.
Adam Sessler is the real guy.
So fucking bad.
His bio, by the way, just a heads up, his bio is not your friend.
Oh, he's not my friend
yeah,
for sure.
Couldn't sleep last night. Just kept thinking about Danny Masterson. If he had
Convicted of rape.
If he had only raped those women for a free Palestine, he's this is a typo here. This guy had a typo, and oh my God, let's roast him for the typo. He's beyond the fourth, maybe fifth season of his Netflix show. I'm voting right now. That is so much worse. That's like so bad.
That one's way fucking worse.
That would be the quickest turnaround in Netflix history. We're already on season 5 of this show, raping for a free Palestine.
Oh my God. The other thing is like Netflix shows don't go past 3 seasons. This guy should know that too. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got the title wrong. The show's actually called Mastersons of Sex. My apologies.
No.
This is such like this is the easiest because like the one on the left is like a classic like crazy blue check reply where you're challenging a guy to like a fight or whatever, right? Like,
and it's a great one.
Oh, it
it's
is.
So good.
It's wonderful. It's fantastic. The one on the right is psychotic and just like horrible. So
yeah,
I mean, I'll just vote for that one right now. Like that one is not. Oh my God.
It is just impossible to imagine the human brain like working that way, right?
Yeah.
Like it does feel like he actually maybe thinks this.
Oh,
This is why this one is really special, is because he really thinks that. Like, and I don't know what he thinks. Does he think the show would be R wording for Palestine? Does he think that is what the show would be? Or
I don't think that's the show. I think he would still have his show where he's like on a ranch or whatever. But the idea is that he's doing all that stuff and it's for free Palestine, and so everyone would like love him because of that, and they'd look away from all of the bad stuff he did.
Who needs to? And I'm sorry to pose this question, but he brought it up, so I'm going to pose it. Who, if raped, would Palestine be free?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of questions raised by this post. I feel like
also the famously the left who also want
totally fine with rape.
That say free Palestine. Yeah, typically not the people associated with like Me Too.
Yeah, that was exactly my thought too. It feels exactly like the electric car one, where it's like, no, I think you're getting your sides like. What do you like? I'd love to ask some of these people what they think like a woke leftist is. Like, just get all of these fucking morons in a room and do like a little brainstorm, a little mind web activity. Like, okay, if I say the word woke leftist to you, what does that mean? And just see what radically different answers they have, because they really can't seem to pin it down.
No, it's always different.
Oh,
what were you gonna say, Caleb?
Oh yeah, this guy, just a fun little twist. This guy is a video game journalist by trade. So,
oh my God, was he like a Gamergator? Was that?
I mean, definitely.
Yeah.
Adam Sessler, if you don't know, he's like been a host on a bunch of like C&D list shows, and I don't know what they are. I don't know off the top of my head. He's a known quantity, but he's like a ethics and video game.
He's like that other fucking guy. Who's that weird little nerd? He has like a fucking lot of followers, and he just uses them to try to get like fake canceled all the time.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. It's the guy who he posted after the Manchester bombing, posted something about making fun of Ariana Grande. He posted the fake toothbrush price thing at Target.
His name is like David Leavitt.
It's David Leavitt.
Something?
It's David Leavitt.
Leavitt.
Yeah, or Levitt. Yeah. That guy's crazy.
Oh, yeah, that dude.
I actually wasn't thinking of David Leavitt, although he is insane. I was thinking of, he had a Food Network show. He's a ginger with a beard.
Oh, he spilled Chipotle on his expensive jeans. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
It's not Batali.
No.
It's got a...
No.
Josh Denny. That's
Denny.
his fucking name.
Yeah.
Josh Denny. Weird little creep.
Yeah.
He does
Yeah.
the same shit too. He writes for the Babylon Bee now. He
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing through line.
He's like such a weird little fucker. And he says that he works for the Food Network, and then he'll just be like, how come Chinese chicks don't suck dick or whatever? And then they'll be like, you're gonna lose your Food Network show because of this. Even though the show got canceled. The show never got canceled. It just ended. And so he's like, he says he's still the host because the show was not officially canceled by Food. It's a weird little scumbag. But anyway, back to Adam and
Sounds
challenging
horrible.
Stephen King. Is everybody
I think
on
for
Raping
me
for
it's gotta be
Palestine?
Adam Sessler.
Palestine? Is anybody voting against that one?
I think this is a clean sweep. I would
Oh,
imagine.
yeah, that's a no-brainer.
I'm gonna stick up for Stanley here, just as the resident like dipshit fucking moron of the show. Something about Stanley just resonates with my heart. Like the fact that you could have the audacity to think it's like when like guys go onto like NFL Twitter and be like, just like talk shit about the athleticism of like some of the most fit people in the fucking world. You know, how stupid and audacious you have to be. Stanley is that
He
guy
is.
in a slightly different capacity. So I will give the one.
It's also
vote
like,
to him.
yeah, what would it prove if you beat up Stephen King? Nobody thinks that Stephen King can fist fight. He's 80 fucking years old.
No, I rock with Stanley. Like he's a cool guy. I would hang with him. But Adam Sessler.
It's like half the guys I work with are just Stanley.
Yeah.
Also
Yeah.
underrated
No,
is
same.
Stanley's upside down American flag in his
True.
his profile.
With a Bible. It's a flag. It's an upside down American flag and a Bible in the same.
Oh,
it's a
amazing.
Bible.
Even better.
Really good.
Even better.
Really
You
good.
and me
Hell yeah, dude.
pick
See,
the
this
challenge.
guy is awesome. He's so
He's
cool.
so cool. Pick the
Okay.
challenge. Oh,
Okay.
What the fuck is this?
Caleb,
first
we're gonna
one?
go with you for the first one.
On the left here.
Yeah, the one on the
This
left.
is-
Yeah.
This is from JS Wargo. This doesn't look familiar to me, so this will be fun.
I'll say right away, this is AI. This is Chat GPT. This guy got Chat GPT to do this for sure. I am 100% sure. No
You think so?
question.
You think
Yeah,
so?
100%.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
This is a man who's replying to the Telegraph.
Yeah, to add the Telegraph.
with a rhyming couplet.
This is context. Their works are all the same. I'm black. I'm gay. I'm lame. They cry a clarion call that they've never heard at all, and we sit by and discover that all like one another, these freaks who've taken reign aren't half brain but insane and want us dead or worse. So who gets who first?
This is he like calling for, is this like a weird like call for violence? What is he saying here?
through
It's a
poetry.
poem. It's a
like
poem
anti-woke,
about the
murder
anti-woke
poetry.
Day of the Rope Turner Diaries style revolution.
This reminds me of Jordan Peterson's like weird poetry posting that he did. Or I don't know if he still does, but he did for a little while.
Yeah.
Like this like weird
Burger King, you will not
formatted
win the
type
soul
shit.
of man,
This-
as Alex once famously said.
You guys ever seen Ernest Scared Stupid, where like all the trolls are the fall off and pods from the main troll
Mhm.
that are kind of just gross offshoots? Like this guy is that, but for Jordan Peterson.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a shitty,
Absolutely.
disgusting offbeat.
It is
Yeah,
interesting
no, this
that
is-
there's no typos in his little poem there. It's like interesting that he like really wrote a poem for this. And he put the
I just
word
find it
clarion
fascinating.
call into it.
Yeah, clarion call is a little that's above and beyond here.
I'm
Yeah.
putting it into
Befitting
one of
of his
those.
profile.
You open up a
picture.
dictionary for that one.
I'm putting it into one of those Chat GPT tester things right now, and I'm noticing that like it's entirely grammatically correct, which does not bode well for like a human having written
Yeah,
this.
that's true.
Caleb or June.
I just find it fascinating though that there's people like this that will just like post, like this is just what they post. Like they're so mad at all times.
Writing
It's
poetry.
just so strange. Yeah.
All right,
Well,
you wanna
it's
read the
the
other one,
wrong.
June?
It's the wrong spelling of rain or the wrong form of rain. You can't take
Freaks who have
rain
taken
like that.
rain. It could.
You have to take your reign. You
Yeah.
can't just take reign.
You could
Yeah.
take a rain or take the reins, but you
No,
don't.
but yeah, but like and take the reins
have
is no G.
taken rain. That's not really correct, is it?
Nope.
All right. June, what's the other one?
All right. This is from Cade. Hate you, dumbass Twitter, in quotations, Nazis who think you're automatically a Nazi just because you hate Jews. Stop watering down a harmful political ideology to just hating people who follow a religion. You look dumb. Holy shit.
Yeah, the Nazi gatekeeper. I
The
forgot
Nazi
about her.
gatekeeper. So she's not a Nazi. It doesn't
That's
seem
so
like
crazy.
It seems like she's
She just hates Jews. She just happens to hate all Jews.
Yeah,
is what
Nazis were
what she
kind of
does.
just more than just hating Jews, and I think it's sort of important that we kind of get all of that out. I mean, that's not even just who was in the camps. Like, it's just such a stupid.
It's just a personal beef.
Yeah.
She just has
I
personal
straight up
beef.
did not realize that. Yeah, she is saying, "I hate Jews, but I'm not a Nazi. Don't lump me in with
Yeah.
the bad guys. I've got my own thing going on." That's what she's saying, right?
So it's exactly what she's
Yeah.
saying. Do you guys remember? Do you guys follow this thread? Because that is
No.
what happened. She was like, I need everybody to understand I'm not actually a Nazi, and like was trying to like defend herself. Didn't delete it because it was getting likes and clout or whatever. So I think she was like happy with that. But she definitely did. Let's put it this way. She's a fan of taxonomies. That's what she was
okay.
going for.
Oh no.
Say no more.
Oh god. She's the type of person. She's the kind of Nazi that would feel bad about being a
That's-
Nazi, but would still follow through with the
I
orders.
think
That's-
this is
just
like
being
what
a
this person
Nazi
is.
makes this one worse. Like the one on the left obviously is calling for people to be killed, and it's a
Yeah.
ChatGPT thing as well, which sucks. But I don't know. The one on the right is really crazy.
That one is.
It is.
That's pretty. The one on the right is iconic.
It
I have to
is
say.
really cool to be the anti-Nazi, anti-Semite. That's a really cool thing to be.
Yes.
That's
I wonder
that's
if
really
they're in like
that's a
sort
good
of
bit.
like an anti-Semitic group chat as well, just kind of being like, "Are you guys going through this too?" Like everybody keeps calling me a Nazi, which is like so fucked up because I'm not even a Nazi, and you guys know that. You guys totally fucking
that's
know
what
I'm
this
not
is.
even
No,
a
that's what
Nazi.
this is an extension of a conversation she was already having.
Yeah,
And
definitely, right?
It's
I'm not a Nazi. I'm just Slavic.
and I really like the gatekeeping element of this too, of being like, no, like Nazis are terrible. Like I'm not a Nazi. I hate Jewish people, but I would never like. That's not like I'm not gonna like organize around it. It's just like my own thing. I'm not like. I don't know. It's a very good brain to have. These are actually both really good brains to have. I think if you have either one of these brains, you're doing really well.
I just love the idea of like someone like the title, like the gatekeeping anti-Semite. That's like a Seinfeld episode
Yeah.
title right there. Like that's like a Seinfeld bit.
I was trying to find because I think just talking about their brains, like the guy on the left clearly like thinks he's a smart guy, right? Because
Right.
the profile pic is the kind of like wearing like a dapper outfit.
Oh, yeah.
With
He's like
hand
looking
on-
up, like
hand on chin, like looking
Yeah.
up like I'm a scholar. So I went to go see like what is his bio, and his account's actually been suspended. Yeah,
Suspended.
so
Holy shit.
so
Oh,
I
okay.
couldn't see
Oh,
what
we'll never
the,
know
what
now.
the bio was. But yeah, definitely like I love that brain of the like to me, and I'm basing this solely off of the profile picture, but it's the type of brain where it's like I am actually more advanced than like this is more advanced than everyone else. Like I'm thinking on a higher level than everyone.
This
It's not
guy
even just like
smoked.
an anti-woke thing.
Yeah, this guy smoked a pipe in college for sure. He was
Yes,
the pipe guy.
100%. Cloves. They smoke cloves. In,
yeah, and it goes without saying, briefcase to class, no question.
oh, big
Yes.
time
Yeah,
briefcase,
Briefcase
to
or
class
rolling
guy
backpack,
right here.
either or. Yeah, but no question.
Fedora. He wore a fedora when he was
Yeah.
14 to high school.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're going with the poem for John. Anybody else have a vote? I'm
Oh
still
no,
not
I'm
totally-
voting for the Nazi
I-
girl.
You're voting for the
just,
Nazi.
Oh yeah, I'm voting for the Nazi. I just like this guy's brain, but I'm for sure voting for the anti-Jew, anti-Nazi. Come on, how can you not?
Yeah, no, I just want you just want to like dissect the person on the left's brain, but like the real
bad tweet is-
real deal here is
Yeah,
the
exactly.
I'm voting for
Yeah.
the poem. The effort, it's clearly so much effort there. It's very lazy to be anti-Semitic these days. Very easy. It takes no
That's
effort.
true.
This guy wrote rhyming couplets. Even if you use ChatGPT, it's still more effort than just being anti-Semitic.
that's true,
Well, I guess
yeah.
that's not true. ChatGPT is like kind of anti-Semitic by its very nature. Like I'm sure that if you plug stuff into it, it hates Jews too. But Yeah, I just think that it speaks to really caring about how much you hate the wokes.
Yeah.
to do a poem about. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point, actually.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That is true, because even if he didn't write it himself, it is like he is putting the effort. And also, he probably doesn't like Jewish people either. It's not like he's like, what he's actually describing is like
Let's keep it a buck. Probably at
fucking gnarly.
least 60% of the people that we're featuring in this slideshow don't like
Yeah.
Jesus.
All right, so we've got one for we've got one for the poem and one for Nazi gatekeeping.
This is tough. Alex, you pointing out the effort here did kind of sway me, but I think I still have to go with the gatekeeping.
Nazi gatekeeping, 2-1 for Nazi gatekeeping. Caleb,
yeah.
where are you at with this?
Yeah.
I'm with the poet only by virtue of the fact that I think that the person on the right is a child or was a child when this was written. So
okay.
Going
Okay.
with the Chat GPT anti-Semite.
So we've got 2-2. Who hasn't voted? Me and Stefan?
Yeah, I'm gonna. It's close. You guys have laid out some good arguments for both of these freaks, but I think I'm voting for the non-Nazi Nazi.
So this means if I voted for the
this is
poem,
close.
it would be a tie. And we would have to figure something out because we haven't planned for that.
Is that what you're going to vote for? Was that your choice?
don't really have a choice. They're both really nutty. I'm trying to be as fair as possible and not just do the easiest thing. I got to go with the poem. I'm sorry, it's a tie. I got to go with the poem.
Wow.
What do we do with a fucking tie? Have we had a tie before?
Fuck it, I'll change my
let's do a
vote.
coin flip.
I don't care if you're a kid.
We'll do a coin flip. We don't
Coin
have to,
flip.
you don't
Okay,
have to
that
fall
works.
on the sword. Heads is the left, tails is the right, okay? That makes sense?
Sure.
So heads is the poem,
Absolutely.
tails is the anti-Semitic, anti-Nazi. And it is tails. So the Nazi moves forward.
There we go. I think that's a good choice. That was a good one.
Hey, that is the end of the main feed episode, but that is not the end of the bracket. There's another hour's worth of bracket with the Block Boys at patreon.com/Western Kabuki if you want to go over there and sign up. If you want to follow Blocked Party, they are on Blue Sky. You can find their podcast on any regular podcatcher, and they are also on Patreon at patreon.com/blockparty. Thanks so much for listening, and we will see you on the Patreon, or we will see you on the next episode. All right, take care.